Now this is a route I've never taken to Mangaluru before. So you basically drive towards Mysuru, towards Madikeri, then descend what is called the Sampaje Ghats. So I'm hoping to cover at least 2 or 3 interesting stops on this route. We've made it to Madikeri. I'm going to get some of that akki roti. That would be wonderful to scoop that masala of that mutton fry. Heading towards Sampaje Ghat and it's all fogged up. This is going to be a very long drive by the time we get to Mangaluru. So I'm told this is a popular tea stop when you're on this route. The tea is nice. Namaskara folks, I'm on my way to Mangaluru. Yes, Mangaluru yet again. You can't blame me, after all that's where I come from. Any opportunity that I get, I don't hesitate in the least. So you must have seen my last 2 vlogs, the drive vlogs going towards Mangaluru, Udupi. I did both the Shiradi and the Charmadi route. Shiradi was on my way to Mangaluru and Charmadi was on my return journey. If you've seen the vlogs, you also know that there's some road work happening on both these routes, whether it is after you descend from Shiradi getting into South Canara or on the Charmadi side before you ascend the Ghats. On both stretches, you will go through some inconvenience with respect to road work. Sometimes you wonder as to why they don't do one route completely before taking up the other route, but you know, that's the way things are. So I got a few recommendations from our viewers saying, why don't you try the Mysuru route? Now this is a route that I've never taken to Mangaluru before. So you basically drive towards Mysuru and then you take the route that goes towards Madikeri. So you cross Hunsur, Periyapatna, Bailakuppe, and from Madikeri you then descend what is called the Sampaje Ghats towards Puttur. So that's the route that I am taking today. As per Google Maps, it says about 400 odd kilometers, about 8 hours. So I've done about 48 kilometers already. I still have about 210, 220 kilometers to Madikeri. From there on, another 120 odd kilometers. When you do Shiradi, again that's about 8 hours. And I think when you do Charmadi, it's about maybe 15-20 minutes here or there. So distance-wise, this is probably about 15-20 or 30 kilometers more depending on which route you're comparing it to, whether it's the Charmadi or the Shiradi route. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this drive is all about, and therefore I thought I'll take the cameras along and also give you a sense of what to expect on this route. So it's about 9:50 in the morning. I left home around 8:30. We got a bit of the morning office commute traffic getting out of Bengaluru, but now it's pretty smooth. Actually, it's been pretty smooth from the point that we entered Nice Road on Banarghata Road and then exited at Mysuru Road, and now of course we are on the Mysuru expressway. I also feel that this route would not have been practical had it not been for the Mysuru expressway, because now you can do Mysuru in a couple of hours from Bengaluru, depending on where you are, of course. So if you were to attempt this route earlier, to go to Mysuru and then go to Mangaluru, you would take at least about 10 hours, I think. So that's the advantage that the Mysuru expressway has brought. It makes it feasible basically. So this is also a route that I don't know much about, and therefore I did some research yesterday on places to stop at along the way, be it for lunch or perhaps some tea, coffee, etc. So we're going to try and explore some of them. Since I'm going to be filming at these places, I will obviously be taking a lot more than 8 hours that one would typically take on this route. But I'll keep track of how long the engine is on, and that should give you a sense of the drive time, the actual drive time from home in Koramangala, Bengaluru, all the way to Mangaluru. I think right now we're going past the Ramnagar area on the expressway. I can see the granite hillocks all around me. I'm not sure if we'll stop for a cup of coffee along the way, but if not, our first stop is going to be in Madikeri. I've heard of this restaurant called Coorg Cuisine that specializes in Kodava cuisine. So since we are driving through Coorg, I thought we might as well taste some Kodava food. Such a joy to drive on this expressway. I just did this expressway a couple of weeks ago when I went to Mysuru to inaugurate a pizza restaurant. I inaugurated the pizza restaurant, checked out one or two other things in Mysuru, and I was back home for dinner. You know, that's the manner in which expressway has made this connectivity so seamless. Of course, there are those who gripe about the road and various aspects of it. I'm not going to get into it. I'm sure there may be issues, there may be certain challenges, but I think on the positive side, and I think the positives are more here, it's really made the connectivity between Mysuru and Bengaluru so seamless. I think that's the thing with roads, right? I think roads bridge people. If you were to think today of, let's say, living in Mysuru and perhaps working in Bengaluru, maybe somewhere on the outskirts of Bengaluru, because Bengaluru has its own traffic within, you can actually think about it. It makes it possible, this route. I've got my cruise control on. I'm coasting at 90. The speed limit on this expressway is 100. But I'm just coasting at 90 in the center lane. Of course, you will always find expressway or not is heavy moving traffic on the right lanes. I mean, there's no excuse to them being on the right lanes on these access controlled expressways. There was a sign which said Puttur there, 277 kilometers. So that's the region that we descend into from Sampaje Ghats. Well, we're catching many of our viewers on the highway too. We pass them and suddenly you'll hear them honk and they'll pull up and they'll wave at you. It's nice, but I gotta be watchful. We just crossed Madnoor there. So I also have a vlog on driving this expressway. I think this is from at least a year ago. So if you want to catch a detailed vlog on the expressway, you should definitely look that up. I'm going to link it in the description below. So one of the things that you've got to be very careful about when you drive on this route is that the road is wide, of course, but then when you come to these bridges, that's when it tends to narrow out a bit. I think you lose a lane. It can be a bit tricky. That's also the area where some accidents have happened. These roads will of course also tempt you to drive fast, but you got to keep things within control. Many times I see these small cars at 120, 140, and of course those vehicles can do those speeds because the engines are powerful and the car is not very heavy. I shudder to think what will happen, let's say, in case of an eventuality. If somebody stops right there, or I see them overtaking from the left lane, if there's a truck parked there, you know, that's when things change, right? I mean, this car even can go very fast and I can go much faster than the 95, 100 that I'm at this point in time. But it's about saying, okay, fine, what is the sort of control that you have at those speeds? It's not about how you drive, but it's about keeping track of what's happening around you. Because you may probably be able to account for your actions, but what about somebody who stopped there, somebody who's parked there, somebody who's there on a curve and you don't see them until the last minute, and when you see them, if you're at 110, when you brake, it takes you so many meters before you stop. So you will get all these beautiful roads from the government, and of course the urge will be there to speed away as fast as you can, but I think it's important to practice a certain degree of self-restraint. Well, the clouds certainly seem to portend some heavy downpours today. We've already caught a bit of a drizzle now, but I think this will also make the drive a little interesting. I only hope it doesn't rain so much, especially on the ghats where you can see things around, and that can get a little tricky. but the skies certainly seem to portend some heavy rain. 153 kilometers to Madikeri and to lunch. I don't do breakfast usually unless I'm filming, but somehow on these drives I tend to feel a little hungrier than normal. So the last time too, when I was doing this drive to Mangalore, around 12 o'clock I was passing through Sakleshpur, and I just decided to stop for an early lunch. In fact, you must take a look at those drive vlogs to Mangalore as well. I'm going to place links in the description below. And I think a big part of the route that you choose is also the food, right? So of course with this route I really don't know what to expect because this is my first time on the route. At least from my research, I think there are some interesting spots along the way. Just exited the Mysuru expressway. That was a breeze. So it's about 11:15 now. I've been on the road about 2 hours 17 minutes. I think I spent the first hour getting to Mysuru expressway. So the expressway I think was just about an hour 10 minutes, but that was at my pace. Now we will take a ride somewhere further up. So we're about 138 kilometers, 2 hours 53 minutes from Madikeri. Shows our arrival at 1:40 p.m. assuming we don't stop along the way. I think in about 2.5 kilometers we will find NH 275. Well, on the left we have the Payana Vintage Car Museum, just on the outskirts of Mysuru, about 10-12 kilometers before Mysuru, and I have it in my mind to visit there someday. I was thinking whether I should do it today, but if I spend a couple of hours there, it'll be very, very late by the time we hit the other spots along the route that I wanted to venture out to. So perhaps we'll make another excursion to Mysuru in the near future to check out Payana Vintage Car Museum. I don't know if I'm saying it right, Payana. I wonder what that means. Do let me know in the comments below. We're now taking a ride towards Madikeri, about 120 kilometers from this point. Namaskar. It's always nice to find food lovers or viewers wherever we go. It's amazing how the show is reaching so many people. And I think the Jimny vlogs too are reaching out to many. I meet people so often on the road. So this is a route that goes towards Hunsur, there's Periyapatna, there's Kushalnagar, then we hit Madikeri. What happens is when you are on the expressway, those sort of highways, your speeds are higher, there's nothing happening around you, right? Apart from vehicles that are going in the same direction. When you get into a city, our mind and our reflexes are still on that highway mode. So you got to be a little more extra careful just to allow your mind to come back to this traffic mode, so to speak. So we just took a right from the Mysuru ring road towards Madikeri. So this is a route that also goes to Belur, Halebeedu, Nagarhole. All of that is this route. We're about 94 kilometers to Madikeri, and this Bengaluru, Mysuru, Mangalore highway, which is what this road is called, is very scenic on both sides, but it's narrow at the same time. So it's a little difficult to overtake. So for instance, I've been trying to overtake this KSRTC bus for the last 10 minutes, and finally I've gotten my window of opportunity to do so. And there's a fair bit of movement along the way. You've got people, you've got two-wheelers, auto rickshaws, people with cows crossing the road and things like that. So you got to be careful. But the route is quite scenic. This stretch has been a little slow. We've been stuck behind slow-moving traffic, and there's very little that you can do. It's only a single lane on either side. So that was Hunsur, and now from here I think we'll cross Periyapatna and then Kushalnagar. So up until now we've done about 192 kilometers, and we've taken about 3 hours. I think we'll just stop here.
Pizza, burger, sandwich, snacks, filter coffee, normal coffee, ginger tea, lemon tea, black coffee, noodles, fried rice.
Okay. ಇದು ಹುಣಸೂರು ಅಲ್ಲ?
ಹ್ಞೂ ಸರ್.
And coffee ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಕಾಫಿ ಇದೆ.
Strong, thank you.
Sugar separate.
Coffee is all right. ಮೈಸೂರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್? 45 kilometers. So the last 45 odd kilometers have taken us, I think, over an hour. The roads are fairly good. The only thing it's narrow. So when you have a bus in front of you or a truck or something like that, you'll have to literally bide your time and wait for that opportunity because it's only 2 lanes here and the road is fairly busy. And what I learned from our friend Sagar there is that there is a parallel road coming up which will go from Srirangapatna to Kushalnagar and from there to Madikeri. So therefore they are not going to widen this road. Well, we stopped at Hot Cup Hunsur for a cup of coffee, which is okay. I'd asked people on Twitter as to where I should be stopping along the way, and I just realized that there is a place called Shabri, which is just a kilometer down the road, where we should have ideally stopped for some good filter coffee and some tiffin and things like that. That's where we should have gone to. At left there, that's what we should have taken to get to Shabri. Kushalnagar, Shuntikoppa, Bantwal, Madikeri. So we're in Periyapatna now. You make decent time. You can drive fast, of course, but you're cruising along, you're coasting along. I guess for all the estates around, these must be their local markets where they come and shop and things like that. So it's been a while since I've driven to Coorg. The last time around was maybe about 3 years ago or 2 years ago when we filmed a couple of episodes at Tamra Coorg in Kapinkad. So I definitely remember that the commercial activity fringing the highway was a lot lesser. You're seeing a lot more cafes, a lot more shops, and I also saw some houses back there being demolished, I guess to build more cafes, more shops, etc. That's the way things are progressing everywhere. When you see the Tibetan monks, you know you've just passed Bailakuppa. For those not in the know, there is a pretty significant Tibetan settlement here in Bailakuppa. I wonder if there's any Tibetan food around in this area. I'm sure there must be. We're in Kushalnagar, so about 45 minutes now to lunch in Madikeri. Looking forward to our meal at Coorg Cuisine. That's the name of the eatery that we're going to. And when I looked at the menu online, they had all the traditional Kodawad dishes that you would expect to be tasting in this area. So that's the reason why I picked this restaurant. So once you cross Kushalnagar and drive up towards Madikeri, that's when the traffic seems to thin out a fair bit. And of course, we're also now getting into what is visibly coffee country. Up until now, you could only see fields, but now you can see the coffee estates on either side. And now you get the sense that you're in coffee country. From Mysuru, I think all the way up to Hunsuru was quite boring. And then I think once you cross Bailakuppe, reaching up to Kushalnagar, that's when things begin to get interesting. Although there were clouds looming all through this drive, we've been lucky that we haven't seen any rain at all. In fact, just a bit of a drizzle here and there. But I suspect the rains may be waiting for us as we descend the ghats. We've made it to Madikeri. We've done about 268 kilometers thus far from home in Koramangala. Roughly about 5 hours of driving. Now we need to find Coorg Cuisine, which is just a few meters away. Well, we've arrived at Coorg Cuisine, and as I've parked the car, this is a beautiful sight in front of me. I can see the clouds kiss the mountain in the distance there. Probably an omen to a good meal here. Fingers crossed. So in this vlog, we'll only do an excerpt from the lunch. So if you want to watch the full episode, you got to head to Food Lovers TV, where you will find a complete Gourmet on the Road episode on Coorg Cuisine here in Madikeri. That dish is hot, but feels very comforting given the nippy Madikeri weather. I'm going to get some of that akki roti. Akki roti is what they call the akki roti here before it cools down completely. The salt, that would be wonderful to scoop that masala of that mutton fry. So the akki roti here is not like a light, puffy, airy, fulka sort of a texture. The akki roti here is quite solid. This is the baine ennegai, which is the baby eggplant. Quite curious to taste it. The masala is almost sweet and jammy, and it makes for a great combination with that akki roti. The eggplant is almost meaty in its bite. So good. Well, we spent nearly 3 hours out here at lunch. I was shooting a proper Gourmet on the Road episode, and therefore it took time. So it's about 5:30 now, and it's been raining, and the entire place looks very misty, very fogged up. So I'm just a little worried about how things will be on the ghats. So the original plan was to stop at a place called Vasudha Canteen, which is not too far from here, just about 18 kilometers, 30 minutes. I'm told they do some coconut jelly and some chaya, so that was one stop. And then a stop after that was in a place called Madnoor, Mookambika in Puttur. Because it's 5:30 already, I've decided that we will go directly to Hotel Mookambika in Madnoor. I think combining a Gourmet on the Road shoot with a drive is not a good idea at all. Because when I'm filming Gourmet on the Road, there's a great deal of conversation that happens with the people behind the enterprise. My tasting takes longer, all of that. So that's the plan for now. It's about an hour and a half from here after the ghats. We just drove out of Madikeri, heading towards Sampaje Ghat, and the visibility is not very great. You can probably see ahead for the next 100 feet, maybe less than that. It's all fogged up. So I have a feeling that this is going to be a very long drive by the time we get to Mangalore. So in conditions like these, you can barely go above 40. You can't really see what's coming up a little ahead, so you won't have enough reaction time. By the time you see something emerge through the mist and you hit the brakes, chances are it'll be too late. You just have to take it slow and easy. I think Mangaluru is roughly about 106 odd kilometers from here. So we've covered about 295 kilometers all in all. Approximate drive time so far is about 5.5 hours. The road condition has been very good. Not a single stretch where there's road work happened or happening or anything like that. It is absolutely smooth. I think we're about 5 or 6 odd kilometers from Sampaje at this point. Whatever ghats we descended have been very smooth. It's just like what you see out here. Great roads thus far. Much better roads than what we encountered on both the Shiradi and the Charmadi route. Just passed by a board which said Sampaje, which means we are in Dakshina Kannada now, en route to Puttur. So I think that's it for the ghats. The ghats were very easy, very simple, notwithstanding the inclement weather, notwithstanding the rains. It was a great drive up until now. I think the only bit of a minor irritant, if one wants to term it that way, is the stretch from Mysuru to Hunsur and a little beyond, where the roads were really narrow and you can't do much in terms of pace. But notwithstanding that, we've done about 300 kilometers in just around 6 hours. So pretty good pace all around. And I think the initial boost that you get with the Mysuru expressway, I think that really sets things going. Well, we just crossed a town called Sulya here in Dakshina Kannada. It's 5 to 7 and of course I would have been in Mangalore maybe half an hour ago, maybe an hour ago at least, if not for the fact that we're filming and we took that long lunch break and things like that. But what I'm looking forward to next is a break for some tea, and we're about 14 kilometers from Hotel Mookambika. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಟೀ ಇದೆ?
ಟೀ ಇದೆ.
ಏನಿದೆ ಬೇರೆ?
ತಿಂಡಿ ಕಲ್ತಪ್ಪ ಸರ್, ಖಾಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬಂತೆಲ್ಲ.
ಕಲ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು?
ಕಲ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಕ್ಕಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡೋದು.
ಹಾಂ,
ಸ್ವೀಟು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಖಾರ ಇಲ್ಲ, ದೋಸೆ ಥರ.
ಹಾಂ, ಓಕೆ.
ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದ್ರಾಗೆ ಖಾಲಿ
ಎಲ್ಲ ಖಾಲಿ ಆಯಿತು, ಲೇಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರೇನು?
ಪ್ರತಾಪ್ ಅಂತ.
ಪ್ರತಾಪ್. ಟೀ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಹಾಂ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಇರಲಿ, ಸಕ್ಕರೆ ಕಮ್ಮಿ. So I'm told this is a popular tea stop, tea and snack stop when you're on this route. The tea is nice. And this I'm told is a kaltappa. Idu bake maduda?
ಬೆಂಕಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬೆಂಕಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Oil illa.
ಅಂದರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ.
So idu jagade sir madnoor.
ಮಾಡ್ನೂರು ಒಂದು ಗ್ರಾಮ.
Grama.
ಇದು ಹಂಪಿ ನಡಕ.
Hamchi nadka. Let's taste some kaltappa, which is basically made with some rice flour, I'm told. It's almost like a thick bread. The texture is that of a very thick dosa. Plenty of onions, there's some mustard seeds that I can see in that. So I'm told we've arrived very late. So therefore, all the other tindi is over. The kaltappa is almost like a savory cake of sorts in the manner that it combines with the tea. And each time you bite into those slivers of onions, you taste a bit of sweetness. So I'm told it's the midpoint between Mangalore and Madikeri, and also the midpoint between Sulya, the town that we just passed, and Puttur, the town that we will pass in some time, shortly. So I think we have to do this route once again, maybe sometime in the near future. Drive through here in the daylight hours. So we'll probably get to have a little more of a conversation with Pratap and also taste some more of the dishes that come out of his kitchen. Well, we just converged on the Shiradi route at Mani, a couple of kilometers behind. And a bonus of coming on this route is that you also cross the town of Kaladka, which is where we are currently, and you see this flyover work happening. So if you want that KT, if you want that Rimjim coffee, well, this is the route to also consider. My engine has been running for roughly about 8 hours or so. So what is my thought on this route? Well, I must say that the roads have been very smooth thus far. Of course, out here, because of the flyover work and all that happening here at Kaladka, the roads are not good. And it's like this for a little bit ahead as well, but that would be the case if you were to come from Shiradi. If you come from Charmadi, well, you've got a whole bunch of road work happening there. So if you were to consider between the three routes, I think this route is the smoothest of them all. I must admit that. It takes probably a little longer. I would probably take about 8.5 hours or so of drive time from the time that I left Bengaluru to reaching Mangalore. We spent a considerable amount of time during lunch, so therefore after that we were more or less driving in the evening. It was raining, foggy, misty. If not, I think we could have easily made up that 20 odd minutes that we seem to have lost. in terms of drive time. My only gripe with this route is the stretch from Mysuru up to Hunsur, Bailakuppe, where the roads are very narrow, so you can't really overtake, etc. if you're stuck behind a ST bus or if you're stuck behind a truck. But other than that, it was a great route to drive on. In terms of charm, well, I still prefer the Charmadi route. I like driving through the Charmadi Ghat. This ghat was very smooth, very scenic. We couldn't see much because of the mist and all of that. But I think if you were to consider the road work that's happening on Charmadi, I guess this route would probably be better till that road work happens. I don't know when that will get completed. And when you compare this with Shiradi, well, I guess once the Shiradi route is complete all the way, I think that will be smooth sailing too. But I think for now, if you want a route where there's minimal road work happening, actually no road work happening up until you reach Kalladka, well, it's certainly the Sampaje Ghat route. I'm going to place the coordinates for my drive route in the description below. Do let me know what you thought of this drive vlog. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't caught the Charmadi Shiradi drive vlogs yet, I'm going to place links to those two in the description below. And if you want a longer version of our meal at Coorg Cuisine in Madikeri, definitely check out the episode on Food Lovers TV. So that's it for this one. Thank you for being with us. I hope you found this interesting and I hope you find this vlog useful. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.